I've been on Poshmark now for just about a month, and I got to tell you, it's been really cool. I'm having so much fun, and I have learned a lot in the time that I have been on Poshmark. Now, if you're out there and you're like, ooh, that sounds like fun, I want to start one also, that's what this episode is all about. It's everything that I've learned in the past 3 weeks that I would like to share with you. As I said, I've been on Poshmark now for 3 weeks, going into 4 weeks. And by trial and error, doing my research, I have learned a lot in this time. And you know what? Truthfully, I'm really proud of where I'm at. And I am just having so much fun. And yes, you can make money on Poshmark. It is, if you put the time and if you put the effort and you put the energy into it, you can actually make a really nice little income on Poshmark. I just recently became a Poshmark ambassador, which I think is really super cool because I worked really hard to get here because, you know, I'm an overachiever. And they're all like, hey, if you do this, you could be an ambassador. And I'm like, I want that. I want that little red circle with the little star on my profile. Now, so far to date, since I started this, I've listed 188 things and I've sold 58 of them. So I'm really pleased with everything that's going on. And that's why I wanted to jump on here and share with you my tips and tricks because I have learned a lot along the way. All right, starting your Poshmark. It's a super simple process to set up your account. They make it very easy. Now, what I would suggest is if you're actually on there and you do want to start selling things, I highly recommend taking the time and filling out your profile. You know, download a picture of yourself, do your background, and just kind of be like, hey, here's who I am. This is what I'm all about. And it kind of gives it just that little bit of a human touch because people want to know who they're doing business with. So take the time, find a picture, do your background, look at other people's accounts and their closets and see what they do. And you know what? Like I said, just take your time and do that. All right, so you've started your account, you have your little picture up, and you've told everybody about yourself. Now you're ready to start selling. What I would recommend for you to do is go through your closet and find things that you don't want and post them for sale. It doesn't have to be fancy stuff. It doesn't have to be anything other than what's in your closet that you're not wearing and presented in the manner in which you're saying. Now, I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, oh, Poshmark, I've heard that that's just high-end stuff. And it's really not. When you're looking around to find things to sell, you can sell electronics, you can sell old video games, you can sell dishes, you can sell books, you can sell records, you can sell men's clothes, women's clothes, babies' clothes, kids' clothes. If you get the idea, you can just about sell anything. Now, another tip that I heard actually from another person who has a Poshmark account, and I thought this was a really good tip, so I'm going to reshare this, but ask your friends and your neighbors, your relatives, let them know that you're going to be starting a Poshmark account and ask them to go through their closets in their house also. And if they have anything that they're not using, you know, they can donate it to you and you can put it on your closet. And this will actually help you start getting a nice little amount of things that are available to sale, and you are on your way to being a Poshmarker. What you're going to do is you take your phone. You take your phone and you take some pictures. Easy peasy. The trick is now for your pictures, for some reason the pictures I thought you would have to be real close to the item, but you need to literally be like 5 or 6 feet away, because if you're too close, you go to upload your photo and all of a sudden it's like wonk, and it's huge. So be about 5 or 6 feet away, take a picture, and I always take a series of pictures. And if there's buttons, I have them buttoned. If there's zippers, I have it zippered. But I will take a picture of the front, and then I'll take a close-up picture of the tag. I'll take additional pictures of any detailing. If there's anything that stands out that I really want them to see, I'll take pictures of that, and then I turn it around and I also take a picture of the back. Because what you want to do is basically, let's just say you go to the store and you want to buy something, but you can only see the front part of it. You'd be like, what's wrong with the back? So give them the front and the back view so that way they, again, can see what they're buying. So you have your pictures on your desktop and you're like, Lonnie, I'm ready, I want to post this for sale. What you need to do is you need to search through the Poshmark app and find the item that you're selling, either an exact match or as close as possible. Now in this example, I'm doing a real easy one. I'm doing this Free People shacket. So you're gonna type in Free People Green Army Jacket. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna pull all the listings, all the available listings that will match that are currently for sale. So you can also too, if you can't find it and you want to narrow the search, you can click on this button that says Free People Only, and that way it only pulls up the Free People brand. You can say, again, you can pick a color and say, I want this color, and it's going to narrow down the search. So what I do is I find a couple of active listings so I can kind of see where the high end is going to be. But before I actually list it for sale, what I'll do is I want to see the actual ones that have sold. So I'll go down a little bit farther now and I will click, I don't change anything else except I click the sold button. And what that's going to do is that's going to show everything that it is sold for. And I just kind of peruse around and I try to get a general idea of what it's really going to sell for. Now, if I see a big fluctuation in the prices, I will actually read the descriptions. And let's just say one sells for $50 and the other one is sold for $10. I will read the description of the higher one and then read the description of the lower one and just try to figure out, was there something special about the expensive one? Was the cheaper one damaged? So I've looked at the active listings and I've looked at the sold listings, and it has kind of given me an idea of where I would like to price my item. And Poshmark again makes it really easy. All you have to do is scroll down a little bit and it says, I would like to list a similar item. And you click that, and what that does is it takes over the basic information of the original listing that you were looking at. And this gives you an opportunity to customize it for your actual item. So I pull the pictures off my desktop and I drop those in. So you scroll down a little bit more, you just make sure that the category that you're pulling that information from is correct. You want to make sure the brand is correct. You want to find your style tags. Now this is always kind of fun, and it can be something where you just kind of like, if somebody were to type in like, hey, I want like a bohemian jacket, you can type in bohemian, then you're going to have the original price. It's going to tell you what it already knows. It already knows that the original price is this. Then it's going to give you the suggested price. Now it's giving you a range to price it. If you've already determined your pricing and it's within that range, stick with what you've already determined, put it in there, and then you can pick whether or not you want a discounted shipping, and then you click next. There you go. You have your first item listed for sale on Poshmark. Now here's where it gets kind of interesting, and it gets a little I think it just gets interesting. Poshmark has this thing where it's a community-based app, basically stating like you share other people's stuff and they will share yours. So it is extremely important to, start looking at those people who have automatically been assigned to you when you opened up your account. Go through their closets, find things you like, and start sharing them. Then they'll see you doing that and they'll be like, oh, cool, she just shared my items. And then they'll share yours. The more you can do that, the better off it is. Because like I said, it not only is it going to people who are following you, but it goes to people who are following the other people. So it's kind of a community app where you just want to share other people so they share yours. Now, another important thing is you need to share your own closet. Once you have your items in there, you want to go into your closet And then there's these little, the little tools right there. You want to click on that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the items you want to share with your followers. And truthfully, you cannot do this enough because because how can I put this? You want to be at the top of people's feeds when they jump on their Poshmark to see what's new and available to sell. So you can't share your stuff too much. I don't care what anybody says. The more you do it, it's perfectly fine. Nobody's going to be like, hey, stop sharing your stuff with me, because they're not even going to notice. But you want to stay on the top of as many people's feeds as you can. So you click, 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 and then you share. And then it takes all of those and it shares to everybody who's following you, and it's at the top of their feed. Now you have to remember, some of these people have thousands and thousands and thousands of people following them, and they're having thousands and thousands and thousands of people doing this. So again, like I said, you can't do it enough, but you need to do it because it's very, very, very important. So fast forward to tonight. You have your item posted for sale and somebody's like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. I've been looking for it. I want to buy it. I am going to put an offer in. Now, when they put an offer in, they're basically saying like, hey, I want to buy your stuff, but I don't want to buy it for what you have listed. At that time, you have the opportunity to either A, accept it, or B, you can be like, you know what, I appreciate that. I'm not going to take $20, but I'll take $22. So you can have a chance to negotiate for the items that you have for sale in your closet, or somebody will just be like, click buy, and then you're good to go. And that, truthfully, I love that one. That one's like, yes, I priced it right. It was cute. And it sold, and yay, we are on to the next step. Sold. They accepted your price and you're good to go. Now you have to get your item from you to them. Again, Poshmark makes this very simple for you. What they do is they're going to email you over a pre-printed label. So what you're going to do is you are going to take the item, and here's a little trick. Before I package up my item and I actually ship it off, I do one more quality check. I do one more, I check the zippers, I check the buttons, I check and make sure that there's no rips. If I have a sweater, I'll actually hold the sweater up to the light because I want to make sure I didn't miss any damage. That actually happened to me. I shipped off a jacket that I did not realize was missing a button, and I ended up refunding her money, and I got my jacket back. But it's really important to make sure that what you are shipping out is in good quality if that is how you represented it. You now have your prepaid envelope, and you need to actually ship it. So this is what I did. I'm like, oh wow, I have this envelope, I don't have a box, so I'm gonna go to Office Depot and I'm gonna buy a shipping box. Because I bought the USPS box, it cost me like $3. And I'm like, well, darn, this is really gonna cut into my profits if I have to buy a box every time. But I'm like, well, that's the cost of doing business. And I packaged it up and I sealed it up, and I went to the post office, and I'm standing in line and I'm holding my package, and I'm like, I look at the box and I look over, and I look at the box, I look over, and there's all the same boxes at the post office. And I'm like, and people are just taking them and walking out the door. And I'm like, excuse me, you need to pay for those. And they're like, what are you talking about, crazy lady? These are free. You can get free shipping boxes at the post office. Don't pay for them. It's not necessary. So I keep a good supply of boxes of all size, and don't pay for it. They're free. Now, getting to packaging up the item that you just sold. What I do is I have this cute little variety of tissue papers, because I want, when whoever buys my stuff, when they open up the box, I want them to be I want them to be pleased. Let's just put it that way. So I will take 2 white tissues plus a colored tissue, and I will lay them out, put my item right on top of it. I will fold it up, tape it, and put it inside of the box. Now, before I seal up the box, what I do is I will actually handwrite a little thank you card. All right, I got my envelope and I got the little thank you cards, and I will call them by name. Thank you, Debbie, for buying this cute Free People jacket. I hope that you enjoy it. Love, Lonnie. And that's it. That is my tips for starting your Poshmark. Again, I recommend it. I am having so much fun. Everything in my closet I feel best represents me and my style. I don't buy anything, I don't sell anything unless I think it would be cute enough to wear myself. Now, if that's how you want to represent your closet, by all means do it. Now, if you're just like, I don't really care if people, if I like it or not, if I find a good deal, I'm going to put it in my closet, 100%. You have the right to do that. This is your closet. No matter which way you do it, my only recommendation is just imagine that you actually had a storefront. You actually had a storefront store and people are coming into your store. How would you run your store? And run your closet the exact same way you would run your store. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I have so much fun sharing this stuff with you. As I learn tips and tricks, I will pass them along to you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button. If you'd like to stick around, see what I'm going to talk about next, you can hit subscribe. Now, I would love to hear any of your comments, or if you have questions about starting a Poshmark account, please leave a comment. I will be more than happy to share the knowledge I have, or you know what, we can Google it together and figure it out.